So if you've been here before, go ahead and put your paws up in the air like this with the paws up emoji. My name is Rebekah Borucki. I have a website called BEXLIFE.com where I teach people how to be blissed in every single day of their lives, no matter who, what, where they are, where they're coming from. And I also have a brand new mantra challenge over there on the website. You can also go to lookhowdope.com, LOOKHOWDOPE.com, and sign up for a totally free, nothing to buy ever 21-day mantra challenge. Although I hope that during this challenge, I will give you guys links on how to get new meditations on iTunes that I'm recording for you. So today's scope is about self-help. And maybe you don't need any. What happens if you absolutely just love who you are and where you are and you have no desire to change? Then what do? What if you're awesome? What if you feel like you have nothing to change? You don't want to improve on your life. It's interesting. I saw a meme the other day that said that if tomorrow isn't going to be better, then why even have a tomorrow? And I was like, holy Christ, that is so much pressure. And I don't think that we're here necessarily to constantly be trying to outdo the person we were yesterday. I mean, there's simple joys in life every single day, and some days are going to be grand and fabulous, and some are going to be like, whatever. And it's just like, there's going to be years for growth and learning and exploration, and there's going to be years for kind of kicking back and resting on your laurels and saying, hey, I've built this great life. Let me just enjoy it in a relaxed way for a while. It doesn't necessarily have to be better. It's just, about showing up and enjoying what's here. I don't want to be that competitive with myself. Totally. And sick days. Yes. We're constantly in the self-help world, and especially among people who say they're not into competition, but are secretly really competing with each other, saying that there is no competition, that we all have these unique gifts to share. There's no reason to compare ourselves with each other, compare and despair. That also is true of ourselves. If I'm constantly comparing myself to my old self, there were some things about me yesterday in the past that were definitely better, conventionally better than today. I was thinner. I was more in shape. I was faster. There were a lot of things, especially physically, that would be considered better about the old me. However, I'm happy. I'm happy with the lack of improvement or even decline. Is that possible? Is that okay? Is it healthy? Should we be constantly in the pursuit of being better, of learning more, of growing, of exploring? Should we be constantly in that pursuit? Or is there a time, is there a season for rest? And I think that what I'm asking right now, this question is very loaded because you can obviously glean what my answer is. There's a great quote by Jenny G. Perry. It starts off with, I am in competition with no one. I didn't see the rest of it. I didn't see the rest of it. Where can I find me a wife like you? Well, my husband met me in a bar. So you can start there. I run my own race. Okay, very good. Yes, I love that. I love that quote. And he's been paying for it ever since. Thank you, Clinton. I'm a fabulous find. I'm a fabulous catch. So yes, it is okay to relax in other parts of life. And it's also okay to be happy with where you are. It is not settling. It's okay to be satisfied. We have been given many gifts. We've been given this life, and we've been given opportunities to grow and to learn and to share and to connect. But our Creator also wants us to enjoy it. He, she, it, whatever, however you look at your Creator, that entity wants us to enjoy the fruits of our labor. And those fruits can come in the form of financial wealth, good health, positive relationships, rest, relaxation, happiness. So when you've worked hard for something and you've done a lot of work, it's okay to sit back and go, this is a year for rest. This is a moment for reflection or just appreciation. And you don't always have to be improving yourself. Like, take a break. Start a movement about this. I'm going to start a movement about eating on the couch. That's going to be the new movement. No, I think that that's my movement. Look how dope my life is, which my collaborator here on Periscope, who's here right now, Everyday Detox. And I hope that he hosts a Periscope for me on one of these days, and definitely comes back on video. He said it in a video. He said, it's not always our job to try to convert people to our cause. Sometimes you just got to like sit back and say, look how dope my life is, and be the example. But that's also a cue for ourselves to just take time to sit back and go, hey, look how dope my life is. Like, I don't always have to be hustling. I don't always have to be part of that rat race. I don't always have to be working towards being totally awesome, the best that I can be all the time. Like, I can sit back and enjoy the fruits of my labor and say, look how dope my life is already. Like, why are you struggling? Why are you hustling? Just chill and enjoy. Be still, enjoy. If that isn't a mantra that you can take with you and like that'll make you smile, and I don't know what one is. So that's going to be your mantra for today. Be still, period. Enjoy, period. Be still, period. Enjoy, period. And breathe that in and out 10 times and just remind yourself, like, it's not only about the hustle. That doesn't necessarily make you better. Sometimes being someone that can just be is actually a big improvement over the hustler that was yesterday. Your mantra the other day was, I deserve to be still. I love that. Yes, yes, yes. I didn't see what Quentin said, but I'll give you a congrats on that too, Quentin. How do you know the difference between being satisfied and being comfortable and settling? Interesting. Well, I think that when you're constantly connecting to yourself with meditation, and this is why I meditate, and this is why I tell you guys that you should meditate. I'm going to use that big S word, should. Because when you get to know yourself and to trust your intuition, and you're connecting with yourself on a regular basis, you answer these questions for yourself. It doesn't take lots of signs and red flags and like bells and whistles for you to see what's true. You just know what's true. And settling feels like settling. Settling is going to feel like you're sacrificing something. It's going to feel like there's something being given up. Being satisfied is enjoyment. It's like, yes, like I'm in this relationship that's sometimes super boring, and we do not like, okay, I'm not talking about my relationship, but I'll talk about mine personally. So I'm married to this great guy, and last night we hung out and we watched Straight Outta Compton, which I was rapping every single word because I was so excited. It was like reliving my youth. We watched Straight Outta Compton, and we hang out in our modest house with our cool kids, and watching our moderately sized TV. I finally watched the movie. Thanks, God, it was so good. And I was very satisfied in that moment. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. This feels good. It feels comfortable. There wasn't that, well, I'm with this guy and I guess it's good and I should be happy. If you have to constantly remind yourself to be grateful, you might be settling. And that isn't across the board true. But if you're constantly, like, remembering to be grateful is great. But if you have to, like, force yourself, like, I'm married to a really nice guy, I really like my house. Like, if you're constantly trying to remind yourself and kind of, I don't know, convince yourself that life is good, then you might be settling. But if you're just like, this feels nice, that's being satisfied. That's happiness. So work towards that. Work towards that big exhale where you just feel good, where you feel satiated. Thank you for quoting me, Quentin. We might have to put that on a meme. And it's funny that we call things memes that aren't really memes. Memes are things that are constantly repeated already and have become part of like the culture or the thought process or whatever. We invent like a new saying and then we call it a meme. It's a little egotistical, right? It's a little narcissistic. We may have to put that on a graphic and share it on Insta. But yeah, so that's maybe your job for today, to kind of like sit back and examine your life a little bit from the perspective of, look how dope my life is, and ask yourself, unless you're addicted to chaos, which I sometimes am. I'm good at, like, as soon as things get settled, I'm like, how can I mess it up again and like make it crazy? but this is my year to like not do that. So just sit back and go, is life good? Do I like this? Am I settling? Or am I really satisfied? And that's okay. It's okay to be satisfied. It's okay to rest. It's okay to feel good about who you are. What's interesting about that is when you do that, you might be inspired to create new things, to have new ideas, to want to adventure, to want to grow, to want to learn more. It's like you don't get the body you want until you love the body that you have. It's like you don't get the life that you want until you can truly appreciate the life that you have already and recognize all the good stuff that's here. So when you are in that place, not working too hard for it, but just like when you've settled into that place of like, I like who I am, I like my face, I like my life, then things start, happening really cool.
This is my She Has 4 Minute series where we talk, the royal me, I talk to the most amazing people in my life who are doing great things about their self-care routines, the little things they do every single day to make the world a better place. Welcome, Molly.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here.